there's a metamorphosis that we're going through between the eclipses that we're in now as we enter the first couple of weeks of May, on top of the Mercury Retrograde, on top of the eclipse portal. So it's all kind of like we're in the bit of a pot. We're churning in the pot at the moment. The pot is being stirred and we're almost in the center of it, just going with this change and transformation. But you can't quite grab onto anything tangible just yet because we're in the middle of it. You know, so until this full moon eclipse comes and possibly shine a light on this transformation, this metamorphosis that we have been going through, you've really just got to hang on for the ride. The astrological and energetic energy of May. We actually start May during a Mercury retrograde. So the energy is a little bit, I want to say, subdued in some way. Like we're not actually able to move forward. It's not a forward moving energy. It's more of a, we're kind of in the middle of processing something. That's what I feel like it is, because we're in between the two eclipses, right? We've got our next eclipse coming on Saturday the 6th at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, that's Australian time. So it feels like, because the eclipse portal is a time of transformation and change, and it can be very high vibe, and it can be very synchronistic, and things can move very rapidly, and you can get very, very clear symbols and guidance as well to your next path. But because we've got a Mercury retrograde overlaying that, it's probably tipping people more into an energy of maybe hyper focusing on one thing and really needing to get into the nitty gritty of one thing, and really like going through something, redoing something, you know, all that kind of left brain Mercury processing, that there's just something that you're needing to focus on your attention on right now. And that really is that energy that we're in as we enter into May. Now we get to the eclipse, which is on the 6th. Now this is a full moon eclipse in Scorpio. Now if you watched my report last month, I would have mentioned to you that we have the eclipses in a family of signs. Just had them in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio for the last year and a half. Now this Scorpio eclipse will be our last eclipse in Scorpio. And because it's a south node eclipse and it's also a full moon, energies are going to be high. It's going to be an emotional time, and being in the sign of watery Scorpio, it may not be pleasant, because Scorpio is like the ultimate eliminator. So he's going to draw out of you those last little things that you need to let go of, that you need to release, the themes that you have been working on for the last year and a half with these eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio activating these houses for you. Now if you don't know what area of life or house the sign of Scorpio rules for you, you can download my mini houses training, and it will teach you exactly how to find it for this eclipse, but for everything else that I do in the future. So there's going to be another release happening here, and it's very it's because it's a south node release, it's potent. It's like the final purging. And I feel like because Uranus is very close to the sun at this time, so Uranus is actually playing a very big role in the eclipses right now. It's going to be highly transformational, but it's going to be sudden, and it's possibly going to be out of the blue. But there's a lot of deep healing and transformation that is coming through now. I can really hear the words metamorphosis. So there's a metamorphosis that we're going through. Yeah. There's a metamorphosis that we're going through between the eclipses that we're in now as we enter the first couple of weeks of May, on top of the Mercury retrograde, on top of the eclipse portal. So it's all kind of like we're in the bit of a pot. We're churning in the pot at the moment. The pot is being stirred and we're almost in the center of it, just going with this change and transformation. But you can't quite grab onto anything tangible just yet because we're in the middle of it. You know, so until this full moon eclipse comes and possibly shine a light on this transformation, this metamorphosis that we have been going through, you've really just got to hang on for the ride. You just got to dig your heels in, and really, if Mercury is making you like really go into something transformative, or really go into, you know, stuff that the Scorpio energy is wanting you to bring up and release in that house, which is, you know, the Scorpionic, it's stuff that you don't want to look at, you know, it's deep feelings. It could be triggers and programs and, you know, just like stuff that you brush beneath the surface. So it may not be pleasant, but I think that if we really do what Mercury's asking us to do, which is to go into it and explore it and don't avoid it and do the work with it, we will come up on the other end like the butterfly reborn, because that really is what this energy is all about for this month. And I do feel, because we have the next most important thing happening for the month of May is Jupiter is changing signs. Now that is on the 17th. He's moving into the sign of Taurus. So I kind of feel like this is tied in with this metamorphosis that we're going through with the eclipses, because Jupiter brings us good luck and good fortune, and he expands the area of life that he's touching, that house area that he's touching. So he's currently been in the sign of Aries, expanding this fiery warrior, entrepreneurial, I'm just gonna go for it energy. But from mid-month, he's now moving into the sign of Taurus. So he is about to activate a whole new area of life for you. And this is big. This is big because you can really feel your Jupiter transits. And again, if you don't know what area of life Taurus rules for you, what house that is, because that's where Jupiter is headed, you can find that out with my mini houses training. Link down below. So Jupiter is going to come through here and expand it and illuminate it and bring you positive opportunities and new beginnings. And it's kind of like wherever the house is that he's transiting, the area of life, you really just don't have to work hard when he's there, because he just brings it to you on a golden dish, a silver platter, you know, like it's very benevolent. You know, he's very giving, and he's going to ask you to grow, and he's going to ask you to really broaden your horizons as well in this area. Yeah, so I really feel like that with the month of May, we really do have this opportunity to expand and transform in this area of life that Jupiter is moving into after this metamorphosis energy of the eclipses. So we've really just got to get through this muckiness, and it will, I do feel the eclipses, because you will still be feeling the ungroundedness of them until Jupiter moves into Taurus, which will be mid-month. And at the same time, on the 15th, that's when Mercury goes direct as well. So I feel like we're going to be in the pot till mid-month. Then the mid-month, we've got the Jupiter moving into the new sign, Mercury goes direct, and we also have, by around the 20th, 21st, the sun will be moving into the sign of Gemini. So that'll be really interesting as well. That'll be quite stimulating for us. So I feel like we're gonna be able to get our skates on, moving with this transformation, this metamorphosis that we've been through, be opening like the butterfly come mid-month, and to really start to work with this Jupiter energy in this new area of our life. From mid-month onwards, and really capitalize and rise above the transformation of these eclipses, because they really have been, especially this Scorpio energy, it's been triggering this area of life for the last 18 months for you. So you have done a lot of work in this area, you really have. So it's big, yeah. Just keep going. Just keep going, just keep going. Keep going with the energy, keep going with what it's asking you to do, and just know that by mid to late month, you're really going to be able to open and expand in a certain area of your life, and things will feel a lot more clearer, they'll feel more grounded, you'll have more ideas, definitely more mental clarity coming in from mid-month. You really will have a better plan and a lot more grounded energy as well with this Jupiter in Taurus. So expect the unexpected and enjoy the month of May. I will hopefully be bringing you a June update from possibly Mexico. I don't really know where, but it'll be somewhere. It's in Central America. So yeah, stay tuned.